Welcome to the Lions Den. Well, we're getting closer to the end of the season, closer to tournament time. We've got Coach Ryan McAdams with us. And, Coach, this time of year, starting to come out of the big freeze that we had, everything's getting back to normal. Teams are able to travel. Matter of fact, it's supposed to be like 72, 73 degrees today. So kids will be able to get out. Maybe they'll be a little bit happier about coming to practice, going through the workouts.
Yeah.
We were talking off air about Saturday's game against Fort Hays. Number one team in the conference. They came in 20-2 overall, and they come in 11-2 in the conference. And with 26 seconds left, your team only trailed by 3. I mean, you had new players out on the court. We don't get to see that often. They were pushing, like I said, the number one team in the conference. I mean, right to the end. Just a great basketball game. Come up a little short, but you know what? The fire and the way those kids responded coming out of the timeouts was amazing.
Yeah, I'm happy with how we're playing right now. I'd like us to, continue to just build more and more confidence. We shot the ball well this weekend. We made 9 threes in each game. That's would have been unheard of if you had talked to me 2 Thursdays ago after a 3 for 30 performance at Missouri Southern. So, our kids are developing the confidence of making shots, which changes the dynamic of the entire game. People can't sit in the paint. Despite Hayes taking Rose Wemba away quite a bit and limiting some of our paint touches in the post, we were able to get into the paint and drive kids and get to the rim and got to the line decently. Lane Kirkendall out hurt us against the best post player in the country scoring wise. Weeder came in at 28 a game, leading all Division II in scoring, and she's advertised. She just hurt us in certain ways, and Didi Chineke and Shauna Beatty both gave tremendous efforts coming in and trying to step up as the backup post player as a collective group and by committee, and they did their best. Jordan Gregory really blossomed this weekend and really established herself as one of our go-to people and made some big shots in the second quarter to settle us down. When they tried to run away from us, we made some shots and went on a couple scoring runs in the second quarter, which kept us in the game and built our confidence. And so, tremendously competitive game. Even the one possession under a shot clock is something that we're happy with. We're not complacent and content with losing, but we're continuing to play better and take one step after another. And, that leads us into a big road week.
Coach, just watching Jordan when she's on the court, she wants the ball. Mm-hmm. And you can just tell when a player doesn't shy away from it, her first instinct isn't just to, okay, here, pass. She's looking. She's looking, at the defenders, mm-hmm. and not just the one in front of her, but what the teams, the opponents are doing. So you can always tell when a kid wants the ball. She definitely right. You're definitely right. She wants the ball, and she wants to make things happen.
Yeah, that comes with confidence, and confidence through conditioning, knowing that you can do it, and confidence through the game slowing down. We had a conversation last week about just how well the game has slowed down for her, and coming out of a redshirt freshman year at Oklahoma Christian and being here last year as a redshirt freshman, she just was acclimating to coaching style and teammates and all the things, and had a difficult year. And now, as a sophomore, third-year college player, she is starting to read second-layer defenders, and she made a big pass to Haley Jackson for a late 3 that closed the gap even more. And making that skip pass from the right lane line to the left corner is not something that was in her repertoire for a while. But kids develop over time with putting tread on their tires and dealing with competition. She's had to learn a lot through game reps this year. Just because the wing position for us has had quite a bit of a rotation on it. So, she's really finally grabbed that starting wing position role and really flourished. And I'm proud of her. She's come such a long way as a player and a person. And, she's continuing to just get better at basketball. And the conversation we had was, kind of phasing out the specialist role. When she came in, she was a shooter and not much else. She's now on the floor late game for defensive possessions, and she's sharing the basketball at the right times in the right ways. And so Her game is expanding, and like I say, when the game starts slowing down for these kids, they can really see things better and experience more success, and that's where she's at.
Coach, right now this team is they've been playing, really good. You're 1-1 in your last two games. Big win over Kearney, and I mean you were right there with Pitt State in a hostile environment. They have a great environment up there, and I want to bring this up. Our last two games here at the Stubblefield Center, I thought our fans really, came out and showed what they can actually do with all the students that we had Thursday night. Just a great atmosphere.
Yeah, I think a couple things contributed. First of all, Dylan Newell, our events coordinator, is doing an excellent job of engaging with the student body. He did a competition on Thursday where attendance was necessary to win a competition of some kind, and they also had a scholarship giveaway that night. I also think some of our senior days have helped. We've done some
Right.
senior days with other sports, and that has brought other athletes and their family members into the arena. But yeah, anytime you can have a home court where you have a volume. I didn't realize how big the crowd on Saturday was until we got the steal in the bucket to close the game to one possession.
Mm-hmm.
And it was loud in there when we cut it to three. And, we were one defensive stop from coming down and coming at them. And we got the stop, and it was just as loud. And, I wish I had a timeout left, but Talisha Brown, your ball is in the fifth-year senior's hands with the game on the line. And, she found Jordan, on the left wing for a contested deep three. But, just that environment, that energy, that excitement, that's the home court advantage that we hope to continue to have. And, all hands on deck, right? The department was celebrating the seniors and the cheer team seniors. That's right. And then again, Dylan Newell from across campus who does different theme nights and does different activities during the halftime breaks. Those are all things that are just going to generate interest and generate attendance, and we do benefit from that. The teams on the floor, the home teams on the floor do feel that, and it's great to have. And we've got two more home games in the last week of conference in a few weeks, and we hope to have it again.
Coach, you'll be on the road the next 2 weeks. You have Washburn coming up, and then Central. These are two crucial games. Washburn is in the middle of the pack right now. Central's right behind Fort Hays. As well as you played against Fort Hays, there's no reason that you can't go 2-0 this coming week. I mean, your team is playing with fire, determination, and confidence. And I think that on the road, get a couple of breaks go your way. It's always tough to win on the road, but a couple of breaks go your way, you can go 2-0 on this road trip.
It can be tough. There are also less distractions on the road.
Sure.
When you're in a hotel, just the group, and you're not worried about anything else, and it's a business trip. Washburn has picked to win our league. They have the most returners, starting returners back. Peyton Stirk on the wing is a stud, transfer from Cal State East Bay in California, and then their post player has been a predominantly dominant post player the last season and a half, and so they were preseason pick number one for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Laura does a great job of just putting the ball in the right people's hands at the right times. We've had the opportunity to watch them on film lately because they played Kearney before we played the Kearney Hayes trip, or the Kearney Hayes game. So, I've seen them on film the last few times. They played Newman right before we played Newman. So I've seen them on film quite a bit throughout the year, and they're tough. And then Central Missouri handed Hayes an 11-point, defeat on Hayes' home floor the week before they came down here. And they're long and longer.
Right.
They're starting 4 players a sophomore, and she's listed at 6'4", and she looks like she has about an 8-foot wingspan, and she's hard to score over, and we're going to have to deal with them. I mean, Coach Slifer is a staple of this conference for 20 plus years, and these are two significant powers in our conference that, like you say, we're going to throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got to find ways to mix up the rhythm of the game, like we did with Hayes, with throwing our zone in at times, and different things, and trying to feed our strengths, which right now continues to be Rose Wemba, and our guards are really sharing the basketball. Thursday night against Kearney, Jocelyn told me after the game, which I didn't realize, but our first 12 field goals were all assisted. and we ended up with 17 out of our 24 field goals. We had assists. So, Saturday, not as much of a percentage, but still quite a few. And that just shows that the kids are trusting each other, believing in each other. The chemistry is really, really getting there. And, anytime you're sharing the basketball and you have some kids you can put in the basket and are playing with confidence, you have a chance. And so I'm excited to see what this week brings.
Coach, we definitely are too. If you can't make it to the road games, then you can follow along on the MIAA app. Very easy to click on that thing and watch the Lions. And on the road, they have 4 road games left. They're all back to back, and then 2 home games following that before the conference tournament. So you still have a chance to get out to the Stubble Field and see them, but you can always watch them on the MIAA app. Coach, appreciate it. Looking forward to it. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Sounds great.
All right. Jimmy. Quick timeout. We've got Coach Zane Gibson coming up next on the Lions Den. Welcome back to the Lions Den at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, the 4th oldest Ford dealership in America. Setting up in front of a brand new Mustang. It's on the showroom floor. If you're interested in this, just give me a call. Reach out to one of our sales professionals. We'll certainly answer any question that you have about any of our vehicles that we have in stock, whether they're new or pre-owned. You can check our website out at randallford.com. Coach Zane Gibson joins us now. And Coach, huge game last Saturday. You had Fort Hays after coming off a monster win over Kearney. Fort Hays, that whole game, you just felt like their coach had been there forever. He graduated at Pitt State and then, has been coaching at Fort Hays. Quality coaching staff, quality players. You just knew they had a run coming, but the Lions just never let them.
Yeah. Coach Johnson does a great job up there at Fort Hays. They're a staple in our league. You don't go past the second sentence without mentioning him and then their program, just the NCAA tournaments that they've been to in the last 10 years and how good their teams have been. And, the home court advantages and environments that they've created up there in Hays, Kansas is special. It really is. And their teams they're always so tough. They're so physical and they never quit. Like you said, they always make a run no matter what the score is of the game. And credit our guys. It was one of those days where when we needed to make a shot, we made a shot. To just keep it where the game pressure never got to where we felt tremendously stressed during the stretch. And again, that goes credit to our guys with the ball movement and guys just in a really good rhythm and letting the ball go.
Coach, it looked like from the outside looking in that they were going to make sure that Christian Moore was going to play their type of game that they wanted. They wanted to slow it down. They wanted it in the 60s. And they did a pretty good job on Christian defending him. He didn't have as many points as he had against Kearney, but the assists were there. He did the things that Christian always does. Takes control of the ball, moves it around. And then you had, Brandon Scott hitting the threes. You had, McAllister, VJ. Mm-hmm. So you had a lot of players that were getting in the action and taking up what, Hays was trying to stop. They were making up for it on the other side, and it wasn't just one.
I think we had 6 guys in double figures in both games, mm-hmm. and that is what I've stressed to our guys all year long. That's what makes us different. We have some really good individual players for sure, but when we decide that wherever it's supposed to go, it goes, and we have confidence in that guy to deliver at that moment, that's when we're really good. And we did that in both games this week. Is wherever the ball needed to go, meaning whatever was open, whatever the defense wanted to take away, they can't take away everything.
Right.
That's the thing about all defenses, even the best defenses in the country. They give you something. They can't take everything away. And whatever that something is, are we going to be unselfish enough and understand that that's where the ball needs to go at that time and trust it? And we did. And the guys did a great job. Like I said, Christian played really well this week. Like I said, his numbers weren't as big as they've been in the past. But you're right. Hays likes to keep the game slower, low possession. Christian still kept the tempo up. He still kept it up. Games in the high 80s for us and high 70s for them. So at the end of the day, I would say that Hayes would probably walk out there saying, "Yeah, we wanted to keep it slow, but they dictated the terms in which we played today," and a lot of that has to do with Christian Moore.
We talked about that in the pregame going into that ball game. Whoever controlled the tempo and had the game in their style, we felt like was going to win. You want that up tempo basketball, and you guys controlled the tempo. The thing I like about Christian and his game is it doesn't matter what they throw at him, a double team, he'll work through it. He always makes a smart pass.
Yeah.
He's just a great basketball player, and I love watching him play. He's been definitely a benefit, whenever he's been on the court, no matter where. And this kid's good.
Yeah, no. When he turns the ball over, it's because he tries to do too much, and he doesn't turn over a lot. But he has had some games where he's turned the ball over. It's when he tries to do too much. When he's just taking what the defense gives him and reads the opportunities and reads what's getting thrown at him, he's fine. Doesn't matter if you want to drop him, hedge him, trap him, switch him, whatever. He can make the reads and make the right plays. I tell Christian all the time, it's a good and a bad thing, man. You're the best defender on you because you force it, and that's when you're not good. But when you don't and just let the game come to you, you're very, very good, and you make our team go. And so, he does a great job of taking whatever the defense gives him, and is our team has really benefited because of that.
So, Coach, going into the ball game, you started Kanan Holder.
Mm-hmm.
First time he started all year. He's playing with so much confidence on the offensive side of the ball, but I saw a different side of Kanan on Saturday. His defensive level and intensity was turned up 10 times. Phenomenal job on the defensive end, and then his offense just is always good.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you put a guy in the starting lineup who hadn't started, it can really kickstart him. Not to keep using the word start, but and it did. I think he was excited to get the nod, and he played great. He played great. It doesn't mean that he's going to start the next game or whatnot, but
right.
I'm not one that just this is our starting lineup and we're never going to change. And to those coaches do that, that's fine. But I'm always looking for an edge, an advantage to try to kickstart us, motivate us, and sometimes I maybe overdo it and it hurts us. But I thought he would bring, with how the game was going to be played, a lot of intensity on both ends of the floor, and he did. He played phenomenal. We're going to need him to keep playing like that down the stretch.
You mentioned that you don't have a locked-in starting five. You've had 12 different players start this year. So you put in against the teams what you felt like you needed to get a jump start on. So Monster Week coming up. You have Washburn. They lost for the first time this year.
Yep.
Number 1 team in the nation. You'll be at their place, and then Central. So this is a very important week. You coming in guns a-blazing. You're 9-4, 18-4 overall, playing some of the best basketball that I've seen in the last 15 years at this school. And this team is right on track.
Yeah, we're playing well right now. Now we are playing 2 teams that can make us look bad really quickly because they are, nobody has more respect for Washburn in Central Missouri than I do. The job that Coach Ballard has done at Washburn just in the 2 years I've been in the league, being number 1 in the nation 2 years in a row for a long stretch of time. It's hard to carry that mantle.
Sure.
Because everybody's going to give you your absolute best shot. And I know they're going to be ready for us, and they're going to be hungry after the game Saturday versus Central Missouri, where Central edged them out. They have one of the most elite home court advantages. Their facility is great, and their crowd will be ready for us on Thursday. It'll be a heck of a challenge. Like I told our guys, going into the week, if you want to play in the NCAA tournament, this is how it's going to feel. These are the type of teams you have to play, and because I believe Washburn and Central will both make the tournament, so I hope we do too. But this will be huge measuring stick games for us to see if we're ready for that or if we're not quite there. And so I can't wait to see what our team does this week and what we do Thursday evening.
The jump to the MIAA, you brought up the atmosphere, and I've made mention about Pittsburgh State, the atmosphere that I saw on the app, the MIAA app. It's polar opposite of what we were in with, and I'm not talking about the Lone Star, but the Heartland. when you travel to Panhandle State and play in front of 28 people.
Yeah.
Big difference of what you're playing in front of now. And it doesn't matter about the facilities. They can either be the newest or the oldest, but the atmosphere is just great in this conference. And I think no matter, if you're on the road or at home, an atmosphere like that, your team plays better when there are people there cheering them, booing them, getting rowdy and just showing that they care and appreciate good basketball. Because I heard several of the visitors that were there this past Saturday say, "Man, this team's good. They're really good," and they traveled a long way just to see that.
No, our league is as good as it. I mean, it's ranked number one in all the the rankings, and you can find all the computer deals online. And it's a combination of having really good coaches, really good players, but also having really good support.
Mm-hmm.
Those home courts matter, and I mean, it's different. I'm telling you right now, I think the Washburn game will be sold out. I don't know what their capacity is, but I don't think there'll be very many open seats in that game or the Central Missouri game. And obviously Pitt had a great crowd, but we had two really good crowds down here.
We did.
This past weekend, and so I'm glad that our community is starting to sense that and get behind it, because it's just what you do in this league. And like I said, it's because people care and because there's a high quality basketball. You're going to go watch good basketball teams play locally for pretty reasonably priced tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you can really ask for. And I think that's what sets this conference apart, is you're never going to walk into a visiting a facility and go, man, there's only 30 people here. You're going to walk in there and the bands are going to be talking to you and the fans are going to be booing you, and it's a hostile environment. But that's what college basketball is supposed to be about. I mean, it really is. It's what makes it fun, as long as obviously nobody's crossing the line, which nobody does. That is why you do this, is to play in these type games.
It should be a great road trip. You've got 2 weeks of it.
Yep.
Then you'll be back for the final 2 games at home to wrap up the season, and then on to the tournament.
Yep.
Coach, safe travels this week. I know you guys will be ready to play. We'll be watching and following you on the MIAA app, and look forward to it. We'll see you back here next Monday at Randall Ford.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you. It's going to do it for this part of the Lions Den. We're going to talk to Chris Davis, one of the sales managers here at Randall Ford. Talk a little bit about what's going on in the community. Stay tuned. More of the Lions Den's coming up next. Back out at Randall Ford on the Lions Den. We're at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, 4th oldest Ford dealership. You see the open door over there. That's the big guy's office, and owner is always here. Bradford's always around. So, if you like that hometown feeling whenever you come to a new car dealership, you come on in, because from Chris, that's been here for forever, to Bradford, he's 4th generation owned and operated. This is a business and a dealership that cares about this community. They support the Lions. They support the college. There's all kinds of charities, Chris, that Randall Ford works with. And, we're out in the community.
Yeah.
We're fixing to host a Pinewood Derby.
There we go. I can't wait to do that.
Yeah.
I'm buying 2 or 3 cars myself, because I spend a lot of time out in my shop. So figuring out a way to make those cars run fast. And I don't care if they're little kids. I'll beat them.
Yeah.
So
listen,
I just want to win.
on. Yep.
So, but yes, you are right. Randall Ford is important in the community. You think about that in the dealership. We've been here over 100 years, and you see these other dealerships come in. They started owned locally, but then other big corporations come in and buy them out.
Right.
And one thing about a corporation is they don't care about the town and the community. They just care about the bottom dollar. We're not like that here. We want to be involved. Bradford is out always doing stuff in the community. Yep. We always like to get involved. And whenever somebody comes and asks us to help out, that's the first thing we always look at, is like, okay, is this business local? Do they give back to the community? Because those are the people that we want to help.
Right.
It's a big family here. It's Fort Smith. If you were around Fort Smith, you know that, this is the biggest little town in the world.
Absolutely is. You can go anywhere in the state, and people know about Fort Smith and the history with the Marshall's Museum and downtown Fort Smith and Randall Ford. You don't stay in business this long for 118 years if you're not doing something right and treating people right the first time.
Right.
You can only burn those bridges, and then after a while you run out of bridges. But no, I'm pretty proud to work here and love the history.
As long as we've been here, you got to be doing something right, because people keep coming back. We have people that I mean, we talk about, Bradford being the fourth generation. We have customers here that are fourth generation. They've been buying their vehicles here back whenever they first opened. They bought their first vehicle here at Randall Ford, and they and their family and the next generation of their family are still buying their vehicles here. That just speaks to, people don't come back if you don't treat them right. And that's why we know treat them right the first time, because that might be the first chance and the only chance you get. So if you do it right the first time, they're going to come back.
And so we're doing this thing, with the college on the Lions Den, but it's also broadcast with Bill Ferris and the Fort Smith Radio Group. They've been a longtime supporter of Randall Ford. He'll be running us on his morning talk show. He'll be talking about Randall Ford, you and I. We have some great deals right now going on that I'm pretty proud of, because there's more than just one way to save money at Randall Ford. We're going to buy you dinner possibly for Valentine's Day. I mean, there's a lot of good things going on right now.
We are. I mean, if you haven't checked out the Randall Ford page, go check out the website. I mean, it's like I'm willing to do anything for the team. And I did something for this one. I play Cupid on the ads. I play Cupid on our Facebook page. We're doing that. We have a thing. We put hearts in over 100 cars out here on the lot. If you come in and find a car that has a heart in it, if you purchase that vehicle, then Valentine's dinner is on us. But then we take it a step further. If you buy a vehicle that doesn't have a heart, or if you do, you get to come in and shoot Cupid's bow. We have it. It's back over behind here where you can shoot that bow. There's a target. And if you can hit that target, you win $100.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have to do that, but we just want to do that to make this month fun. It is Valentine's Day. We want to have fun. We're always doing something fun and trying to give back to everybody.
We started bringing in our pre-owned of the week. It doesn't matter if it's a Ford, if it's a Nissan, if it's a Toyota. We want to feature a new pre-owned that we have in our inventory each week, and we have them right here on the showroom floor. And so far we're 2 for 2. We brought them in each Monday, and Chris, we've sold them. Them that week. So people are liking that. People can walk around them and see them and not have to get out in the elements. We have them right here for them.
Yeah. Well, and this time of year, you think elements and it's going to be cold. You don't want that. We did have a big ice storm not long ago. That car of the week was right here on the nice toasty showroom. They could come look at that instead of us having to clean off all the snow and ice for you to look at it. So yes, it is a great thing. Come here, touch it and feel it. We will sell you any brand vehicle. We ain't proud.
Get right. Listen, we'll take care of you, and we're not afraid of competition. They can go across town and shop us. We don't mind. We're going to give more for the trade. The bottom line is we want your business. Give us a shot. That's all we're asking for. If you've been shopping with other dealers, fine. I get that. I get that. But at least give us a chance to earn that business. I think you'll see the difference at Randall Ford.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say. Because of the Lions doing so great, you doing the broadcasting you do for the Lions, you've got a special that just is for people that will come into Randall Ford. We have free tickets available, so you can go see this game. I mean, they're a hidden gem. So many people don't even know about this. They think about the Razorbacks up on the hill, but I mean, we've got right here locally a basketball team. What'd you say? They're number 2?
No, we're playing the number 1 team in the nation this week on Thursday. The Lions have been in the top 25 all year long, and they're setting right in second place right now. Fixing to play the number 1 team.
Yeah, it's right here local. These students are coming into local businesses, and they're right here. You don't even know it. We've got like the next superstar could be right here in Fort Smith, Arkansas. A chance. You can come in here to Randall Ford, get free tickets, go see them play. You only got to go once to see that, and then you'll be hooked. So come in here, take a chance to come in and get some free tickets. Go watch these guys. Help support our local team.
Come by and see us. We're at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Chris is always here. I'm always here. Bradford's always here. You can see Matthew. Daniel's here. Yeah, Dan Thumb. Come in and ask for Thumb. All of us will applaud you and probably buy you a cup of coffee. Hey, we're here 6 days a week, and the only day that we're closed is on Sunday to spend time with our family and friends. So stop by and see us. We want to earn your business. Come give us a shot today at Randall Ford.